Many of you are fans of Dragon Ball and retro games like me. You gotta pick one of these up. Limited edition right now. Vintage Dragon Ball Super Mario Bros. 3 Fusion merchandise available right now in the new Geekdom 101 store over on Redbubble. These designs are some of my favorites I've ever done, and you can get it in multiple different sizes and multiple different colors as well. Whatever color you'd like, ships anywhere in the world, including the United States, and you can get it by the end of the week since a lot of you guys are shopping this week. Not to mention, if you don't want a shirt, you can also get an essential shirt, a tri-blend shirt, a v-neck, a hoodie. There's all kinds of different designs or shirt types that you can use with this design. I will leave a link down below right now and pick up your vintage Dragon Ball Super Mario Bros. 3 hybrid shirt because they're going fast and I love them. I love them so much. We are less than 1 month away from Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 79. The holidays are here, and the biggest gift of all could be the downfall of the heaters. Is it happening? Maybe, maybe not. We're going to be discussing that today here on this video. Man, it feels good to be here on YouTube, bro. It feels real
Yeah, I
good.
love YouTube,
I
man.
love YouTube, bro. I'm joined by Mr. Senpai over here, and we're going to be discussing what's going on with Chapter 79. And we're going to talk about Chapter 78 gave us the revelation of gas now apparently being the strongest and having no problems with Granolah or Goku. But of course, these guys are tired. The chapter ends with Vegeta giving Granolah the Senzu, saying, "This is your revenge. You got to be the one to take this guy out." And maybe we'll see that this chapter. So we're going to start talking about gas versus Granolah here. So my question to you, Mr. Senpai Bro, is do you think the fight's going to end this chapter? Because I don't. I think it will continue on to chapter 80.
It's got chapter 80. Yeah, I agree with you. So
Yeah,
next
80.
chapter,
79 is the next one, then
next
80.
next chapter is gonna show us something about gas that we don't know, that hasn't been revealed yet, I believe. But in terms of a final conclusion, it's not gonna happen next chapter. There's gonna be a break, right? We've had action upon action, chapter by chapter.
For like
There
six
needs to be some
months.
for like 6 months. There needs
Yeah.
to be a timeout, kind of like, all right, let's regroup type of scenario, which is what I think is gonna happen 2 chapters from now, or at the earliest next chapter. So we're not gonna get a conclusion to this fight simply because we just got gas and his wish. It will be anticlimactic for him to get defeated. He has to get defeated. I mean, that's common sense. We know Dragon Ball Super, the end of Z, right? That has to happen. So he is gonna get defeated one way or another, but it's way too early for that to happen.
Yeah, and plus he's a bad guy, and I think the entire heater clique's gonna go out. Now let's talk about Monito's wild card because he witnessed Bardock versus Gas. Now in our last preview video we did, we thought we were gonna see Bardock versus Gas, but we did not see it. Now I'm wondering if perhaps Toyotaro purposely left that out for a reason because we found out that Gas was strong, but Bardock still defeated him. And Monito is the only person who witnessed this because Goku was a baby, Vegeta was very, very young, and so was Granolah. So, that tells me that Gas, despite being really strong now because of Alex Wish, may have a weak spot. What do you think?
Yeah, notice how last time we spoke, I think it was last month when we spoke about this, we
Right,
thought that Bardock was stronger than Gas. He
right.
obviously beat him. But it turns out in this chapter that actually quite the contrary, says Monito. It seems like Gas was actually stronger than Bardock. Vegeta re-emphasized he was a low-level Saiyan, a low-level warrior. So
Right.
how did he defeat him? Well, before Monito told us the answer, we got interrupted. That was done on purpose. There's a reason why Bardock was able to defeat Gas. And if he was able to figure it out on his own, then possibly his son and Vegeta should be able to figure it out. If for some reason Monito gets killed and is not able to give us that answer, Goku Vegeta, the way to defeat Gas, and then he dies, right? I'm pretty confident that the Saiyans can figure it out on their own.
Do
The
you
point
think?
being,
Go ahead, man.
the point being that he has a weakness. Yeah.
Right. And maybe we'll find out what it is, and that could be a problem for Gas. Now, I want to talk about the wish here in a minute, but first, leave a like if you're here. Help other Dragon Ball fans view this content, and if you're new, subscribe hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell because notifications are always broken. Yes, so okay. Do you think Vegeta or Goku will get involved in this fight? Because I feel like at one point Gas may overpower Granolah. I mean, it's difficult to say because Granola's about to eat a Senzu. And maybe Vegeta could Hakai those weapons that he has and get involved. But I also thought in my head, what could happen is Granolah overpowers Gas, and then Maki and Oil try to jump in, and that's when Vegeta and Goku jump in and say, whoa, hold on. That's their fight. And then Vegeta, because I believe that unless Alec made another wish, which we're going to talk about here in a minute, I believe
Yeah.
Gas is the only one that got the power up. So if Gas is the only one that can compete with those three guys, there's no way that Oil and Maki can mess with Vegeta or Goku. So what do you think about their involvement in this battle?
This entire saga has been Granola's story. It's kind of like
Yes.
the movie with Thanos, right? The first movie with him, that was his story.
Infinity
Even
War.
though Infinity War, that was his storyline. So it makes more sense for them to focus on Granola. Yes, Goku and Vegeta are gonna get involved, but only to prevent this battle from getting interrupted. Right, so they're gonna focus maybe on Oil and Maki, but they're not gonna get involved with these two characters. So if he does take the Sensu Bean, which I believe he will, I don't think he's gonna take half of it. He's gonna take the whole thing. He's gonna fight. Granola's gonna fight against Gas, and it's gonna be an uninterrupted chapter of just them fighting with things happening in the
Do
sidelines.
you think that Granolah with the Senzu Bean boost getting back up to full power can take on Gas? Because here's the thing. We did, and we're gonna talk about this here in a minute. We did not see the wish. We actually on screen did not see what Alec wished for, and that leads to two different questions after that. And that is, what was the sacrifice that Gas had to make to get that power? Was it years off of his life, like what happened to Granolah? Was it another sacrifice? What we don't know that. And then the other question there is, what actually was the wish? Because a lot of Dragon Ball fans are speculating that the wish is not what we thought it was. That, yeah, Gas got a power up, but did he really get a power up to be the strongest in the universe? Or is Alec setting Gas up to just do what he wants, to use him? Alec is the kind of guy who is a manipulator. We've talked about this for the past almost a year now at this point, almost. So we did not see the wish on screen, and I believe that Toyo Toro did that on purpose because we're going to find out the true nature of the wish very soon. What do you think about all that when it comes to the power and the wish?
Notice how Gas, compared to the other characters, he almost looks like a child.
Right.
Children are innocent. They're very easy to manipulate. And this guy, the way he talks about the heater gang, like, yes, we the heater gangs, it seems almost like he's being indoctrinated into a cult. So I do believe that he is being manipulated by Alec and Oil. Well, I don't know about Oil, but Maki is aware of it. The only one who's not aware of it is Gas himself. He thinks that he's special. I am the strongest here. Like, we don't need you, Granola. I'm that I can handle this on my own. But he doesn't realize that he's being manipulated, and he may not know that part of his lifespan was actually sacrificed. We know this, or we can infer this, because the people who went to see Zuno were Maki and Oil. Gas wasn't there, which means that they may know what the
He
weaknesses
could be
are.
ignorant. He could be ignorant. He might not know.
He may not know, right? He
Right.
could literally have 24 hours before he dies. We don't know. He doesn't know. And ultimately, that's his fate.
Not to mention that, one of the things people have been saying, which I kind of see where they're coming from, is when the wish was made, when Alec
Yeah.
actually made the wish to, let's say he wished for Gas to be the strongest, Goku and Vegeta and Granolah had finished their fight. They were exhausted, they were tired. So it could be that the dragon made them stronger than those three in that particular moment. But if Granola's here, he fights Goku and Vegeta, he goes down here because he's tired, right? He can't fight at full power. Let's say Gas is here. Granolah, with eating the Senzu, could jump all the way up here again, and that could be the end of Gas. That could be a technicality they could use to get around it to explain why Gas could win. Or the theory about the weak spot. What I think could happen is he should actually hit him with his real weak spot, which is, since Granolah knows how to do pinpoint accuracy strikes, just shoot him right in the balls. That's all he's got to do. Hit Gas right in the balls, and that's his weak spot, and he's won the fight.
If he was able to still land a punch against Ultra Instinct Goku, Master Ultra Instinct Goku, right? Why can't he could he do that against this other character? Now the only okay, here's the only questionable thing. We saw in this chapter that the Heater Gang was actually observing Granolah as he was training when he was a little boy. So it's very possible that Gas knows everything about Granolah's fighting style, his techniques, right? The way he fights, his method of attacking weak spots. So he already knows how to defeat Granolah just from that sense.
Yeah, yeah, right. But at the same time, that's Granolah back then. Remember, Granola's got a whole new bag of tricks. He can do entropy, he can teleport or do a version of it. Some people think he has UI. I'm not saying he does. I don't think he does, but some do. JD, people think that this guy has a lot. He has a lot of abilities he didn't have before. So this newly wished Granolah, I think that could be the technicality they use again. It's difficult to say. Either way, I don't think we're going to get a conclusion in this chapter, but I think what might be what might be a twist in this chapter is Alec is still away from the fight. Vegeta, Goku, and Granolah are distracted. So are Gas, Maki, and Oil. It's like 3-on-3. Alec is away right now. Alec
With a Dragon Radar.
with the Dragon Radar. He could go make another wish. So will we see another Alec wish at the end of this chapter? These Dragon Balls are being abused the way that Granolah should abuse Gas's balls with that pinpoint technique. But yeah, what do you think about that, bro? What do you think about Alec making another wish?
And we know from some of the previous, I believe it was the previous chapter or two chapters ago, that this is a pretty small planet. Like, there's not that many people on it. Surface area wise is very small. So, and there's only two Dragon Balls. With Dragon Radar, you can easily find both Dragon Balls within an hour.
Right. Wouldn't it be something though if the balls landed right where Goku and Vegeta were at and was rolling on the ground and Alec's like, oh no, that could be funny. That'd be a Toriyama thing to do. That'd be a Toriyama thing to do. But here's
But
go ahead, man.
yeah, no, I completely agree with you. He's gonna make a second wish. We still don't know what all the questions were asked to Zuno, right? So I do believe he is gonna ask the second wish, but the question is he gonna ask it for himself? Is he gonna give it upon OG 73 and then have both of them working together, Gas and OG 73? I mean, there's so many ways that they can go with that second wish.
I mean, the one thing that really seems like what's likely to me is that the Heaters might be like this group that they all, they're like a band or a cult, as you said, but Alec seems like the type of guy, based on everything we've seen from the beginning of the introduction of this character, that he doesn't care about anybody but himself, and he will use people. He's manipulated Granolah, he's manipulated Goku and Vegeta with the help of the Heaters. He might be using Gas, Oil, and Maki himself for his own selfish purposes. He might end up wishing to be stronger than both of them, and then we got another big fight ahead of us. So all these things could happen. Now I want to ask you about Frieza. So you mentioned before we started recording that you had an idea about Frieza making an appearance in this chapter coming up already?
No, 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 no. It's gonna be set up for him to show up, but it's gonna be set up in this chapter.
Like,
It's
what are
not
they
the one
gonna
that's
what,
coming
what are they
up.
gonna do? What are they gonna do?
Okay, so we know the Heater's ultimate goal is to defeat Frieza,
Leave
take
a
over his
like.
empire, and leave a like. So that's part of his plan. But so we know that's where he's going after this. This is just cleaning up the trash. This is just a side quest. The main quest is taking out Frieza. Now, there is no way that Granolah, Goku, Vegeta, that they're gonna defeat Gas in the next chapter or two because he just got reintroduced right as the strongest in the universe. They have to get out of there. We know that they don't have a spaceship that got destroyed, but we know that there's two characters that can both do instant transmission and teleport out of there. They're gonna teleport out of there, and they're gonna regroup and say, "We need to get to Frieza first before the Heater Gang gets to him." They're gonna get to Frieza. So essentially, what I'm trying to say is that in this coming chapter, they may end up teleporting away, gonna set up for the next upcoming chapters where they're gonna eventually meet up with Frieza and try to do a teamwork against Gas.
What
That's
if
what I think is gonna happen.
that could happen? But what if Elec asked the dragon transport Frieza to planet Cereal right now? What if that happens? And we know that the dragons can do that because on Namek we saw the Namekian dragon transport everybody to Earth at one point. So that could be a thing.
And that's where your theory comes in about Monaito. That
My
can
theory
answer that
about
question.
Monaito. We're gonna do a separate video about that. I think we'll do that a separate video about that. I have one more question for you. So, but before we
Right.
get there, I want to tell everybody leave a comment. Let us know who you think is gonna win between Granolah and Gas. If you think the fight's gonna end, and yes, I do read y'all's comments. I just don't always have time to reply. I usually read them when I'm in the bathroom or I'm waiting at my doctor's appointment or something. I never have enough time to reply to everybody. But please leave your comments on that. Let me know if you think Gas has a weak spot. And let me know if you think Frieza will appear. So my last question here, last topic here is ultimately, right, when this is all said and done, I feel like, do you think there's a possibility that Gas could betray Elec and go off on his own?
Gas betraying Alec. Bro, this guy is more obsessed than a crazy ass girlfriend. He's not gonna betray Alec in any way, shape, or form. Even if he finds out that Alec has been using him since his entire life, I think he's done. He's too far gone.
He's
No,
too he's
I
too
don't think he's
far
gonna.
gone. No one ever
He's
really
too far gone.
dies. Yeah. Well, anyways, it's good to be here on YouTube. Anyways, leave a comment. Like I said, like the video. Have a great day. I'll talk to y'all soon.